Hey, what's up, everybody? Tony with La Lido Loca. It's a travel day for me, but there is some important updates out there for cruise news stories that we have been talking about. So I wanted to take a couple minutes while I'm waiting to board my plane to give you an update. The first three stories are heavy. We've been hit with a lot of heavy news, but I have grabbed a couple more positive stories to share at the end so that even though this one's going to be a short show, at least we can kind of balance it out. I guess that's the way life is, right? There are big moments of joy and happiness and big moments of sadness and tragedy. And if we interact with the world at all, that's what we're going to deal with. So let me give you some updates first. Yesterday evening, I shared the footage with you of the boat that sank in the Bahamas, kind of a vessel that takes people out to the Blue Lagoon, out to Paradise Beach. Apparently there was bad weather in that area, or bad seas. So when you watch the video, it looks like fairly nice weather, but what we're hearing is the seas were rough, and that boat, that ferry boat that was taking people to this destination, took on water. And fortunately, the Paradise Beach responded super quickly. People were taken care of. There wasn't a lot of, challenges, other than there was, sadly, one fatality. We found out now that a 75-year-old American tourist passed away in that accident yesterday. I've seen some reports that she's from Colorado. Scary stuff. I've watched that video several times, and it really kind of brings to mind, that you got to be thinking when you're out on these excursions. It was, it didn't seem like there was a lot of, great direction in the moment, and people weren't sure what to do. I think the fortunate thing is everybody did have their life jackets, and of course the one fatality is the tragedy for sure. We don't know the circumstances. Yeah, it was shocking stuff. We also have an update on the cruise passenger that went missing on the Carnival Glory. When the story first broke yesterday, there was some question as to whether or not the passenger was missing on the cruise ship or whether or not the passenger had gone overboard. Carnival has released a statement saying that after extensive review of their video camera footage, that apparently the passenger did jump overboard, that he climbed up on top of a lifeboat and that he jumped overboard. The U.S. Coast Guard has released a statement that they've extensively searched the areas in the Gulf that the ship had traveled through, and unfortunately they have not recovered this gentleman who apparently jumped overboard. And like I said at the beginning, 3 heavy cruise news stories. The third story is another overboard story. I started getting messages yesterday potentially about an MSC crew member going overboard, and we now do have confirmation out that the Coast Guard is actively searching for an MSC crew member of Indian descent who went overboard near Puerto Rico. I know when we talk about these overboard situations, it lodges in our mind that this is happening frequently. I did see the coverage of the update of the Carnival Glory story this morning from Doug Parker at Cruise Radio, and in his coverage he mentioned that there's been 13 incidents of overboards in 2023 with 2 people being recovered. I think this crew member might be incident number 14, and 13 or 14, that is a lot, but compared to the millions of people that cruise, it's not a lot, but it's so dramatic and so front of mind when we hear about it. Just tragic situations. Hopefully this search for this MSC crew member will be positive, but as we've seen from the numbers, the likelihood is not there. But yeah, heavy cruise news stories kicking off our Wednesday, but I do have a couple positive cruise news stories that I would like to share with you. The first one is a great one. We've gotten word that the Carnival Jubilee has passed her sea trials. This is one of the final milestones that a cruise ship has to go through before it is repositioned to where it will be serving paying passengers. And so it looks like all systems are go when it comes to the Carnival Jubilee, and very shortly it will be making its debut in Galveston, Texas, to take care of excited Texas cruisers. So that's certainly a positive story. And we're getting word out from St. John, New Brunswick, that they had a record-breaking cruise season. This is another port that has celebrated the return of cruising, and a big season for them, celebrating 170,000 plus cruise passengers. Yeah, again, it's so hard to strike the balance between these positive and negative stories. And I've seen some of the comments. There's people out there saying, wow, it seems like the news is always negative. Does this mean that commenters like myself and others don't love cruising anymore. Well, that's far from the truth. It's my favorite way to travel, but part of the challenge when you're covering everything going on in cruising is sometimes you have to talk about the bad in addition to the good. There's the update. I'm going to jump on a plane, head to Knoxville. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. What do you think about any and all these things? Leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.
Cruise news, cruise news, cruise news, it's over.